Sometimes you do an experiment and you develop a longer lasting light bulb. Sometimes you do an experiment and you give yourself cancer and die.
Which brings us to Dune.
I don't know what this... Oh, I meant our new style of recording. Dune 2.
Yeah.
It was freaking fantastic.
I loved it.
You believe in Paul.
It was fantastic.
That was great. I'm not really good at keeping up with shows that have multiple factions and all this other stuff. Like, you know, the one that everybody loved, the
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
House of Dragon, yeah.
I have a hard time following it. It's too much going on.
Okay.
So I was afraid that was going to happen with Dune. But there's enough cool stuff happening. So you and I probably love it for different reasons.
I guess.
I loved it because I'm like, that guy's riding one of those giant worm things.
It was an Alaskan bullworm!
They just blew stuff up. Whoa! And the explosions are so cool. But also, you know, it had a good story. I was able to follow along. I at least knew who the good guys and bad guys were and all of that.
I did love all of that. In fact, my first impression, well, like 6 minutes into it, since we're coming into Gay Pride Week,
Sure.
Great Pride Month, I'll take it. It looked breathtaking.
It was spectacular.
That's actually the word and the tone that came out of my mouth. I was watching it with the 14-year-old like, this is fucking breathtaking. I don't know why I said it like that.
But you just did.
The cinematography is so fucking beautiful. That you'd expect from Denis Villeneuve. I don't know who did the director of photography was, but...
I don't know, but...
It's what you'd expect from a properly trained French style, but not really properly trained filmmaker who understands visuals and shot composition.
Yes, but unlike Rebel Moon, you can actually take cool shot composition and good story.
Right.
And mix those two things together.
I'm glad you brought up Zack Snyder, because he would be maybe the most successful, brilliant director of photography that's ever been.
Sure.
If he concentrated on that.
And just that.
He thinks he's a director and a writer as well, and he's not so good at that stuff. But when you're doing The 300, which was a graphic novel, well, sure, it's all done visually.
Yeah.
And there's a little bits of dialogue. Okay.
Yeah, and the story's already written for you.
This wouldn't work.
No.
The story is far too intricate to tell as a graphic novel.
Yes.
Which is fine, because he pulled it off spectacularly. Just spectacular.
Now, were you a fan of the old movie Dune, the original in the, was it the 80s?
I liked the 1984 just fine.
Yeah.
I understood that it wasn't for everyone.
No.
And
obviously there were a lot of limitations on what you could do visually and with special effects and such. It was the 80s.
The story is multiple books.
Yeah.
It's either 6 or 8. I mean, it's huge. And they decided we're going to cram everything into one movie because it's expensive. And this time they realized it's too much. You need to split it up. And the first one's going to be a little dull and plodding. Just wait. And they were right.
Yeah, this is how you do a sequel properly.
I mean,
because everything that you built up in the first movie, you got to be able to pay off in the second. You can't pretend the first movie didn't happen.
I need you to build. You
Yes.
need to continue going. You started the first film like this, and then you stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2 should continue here.
Yeah.
You can't just start from back here and start up again.
Right. And then suddenly, in the middle of it, go, somehow Palpatine returned.
And then start all over again with number 3.
Right.
Because you haven't got a cohesive storyline. You now got a bunch of turds that don't fit together. Even when I started to come up with problems, when I started saying, like, ooh, how are they going to cover that? In the next scene, they answered it. This is going to be spoilers, but if you haven't seen it by now, they're starting to divide into factions. This guy is the Mujahideen, or whatever the hell he is, and the other half, like, come on, don't be stupid. This is made up shit. For her faction, the ones that are like, come on, we should be fighting these guys, not waiting for a savior. It shouldn't matter. Either he's the savior,
right,
and he's going to convince these guys to fight, or he's not the savior, but these guys think he is, so they're going to join the fight.
That matters. Yeah.
Either way, your side gets what they want. Why do you give a shit if he's a savior or not? And in the very next scene, it's her saying, look, you're a fucking idiot, you're not magic, but I'm going to teach you how to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
and that was brilliant.
They did address it. Bravo. That's an intelligent, thoughtful filmmaker who understands story structure
Yes.
And I can't leave plot holes this big. It's fantastic. That's how you make a fucking movie.
Yes.
God damn it.
And that's how you have character arc, by the way. A lot of these characters, if not all of them, have successful character arcs. They are not the same person at the end that they were in the beginning. I had somebody else explain to me what character arc truly means, and he said it's you start off with what a character wants and you end with what a character needs. Because if they start with what they want and end with what they want, nothing happens.
Yeah, who cares?
Right. Yeah. And you're right. If you take that same approach and you look at like the god-awful Star Wars films or, all this, you're right. They started off wanting something, and by the end of the movie, they got what they wanted, and then it's over.
So where did you go?
Where did you go? What
some
happened?
cool karate fights. I especially the performance of everyone. Spot on. Fantastic.
I love Zendaya.
I like Zendaya. She's really great. She's
like
a great
her.
actress.
I've seen her in The Greatest Showman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really like her
Okay.
in that. Obviously, I love her in all the Spider-Man movies because she looks like she's 12, but, she's actually in her 20s.
Right. She's great in Euphoria, which you haven't watched. You shouldn't bother, but she's outstanding.
Okay. So you telling me Euphoria has her and Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not watching this.
It's not your style of show at all. You won't enjoy it.
Can I watch it at like ×2 and
It
just
won't make
get
any
to the-
sense. It won't make any sense. I mean, give it a go. You might like it. Don will like it, but it's not in your wheelhouse at all.
Fair.
But it's one of the best made series I've ever seen. You'll like it. You're a lot more intelligent and deep than this guy.
Stupid!
I'm sorry, it's true.
I'm not going to argue.
The mother, the lady mother,
Yeah.
who becomes the queen mother. Oh my God, Rebecca Ferguson. Jesus, what an actress!
Yeah.
What a spectacular actress, and hot as shit when she's dressed as the queen mother. But what a performance! You read her perfectly. Every emotion in this deep, complex layer upon layer of this Machiavellian shit. She knows she's trying to pull a fast one, and she has to convey 6 or 7 of those elements at once, and she does it every time. You read it, even when she just does a tiny little inflection change or an arc of her eyebrow. It's so subtle, but it delivers exactly what she's trying to get through.
Yeah.
What a fantastic actress.
I will say I think around the same time that they were announcing Dune 2 and they were showing trailers for it, they were also showing trailers for Rebel Moon. And because there were some visual stylizations that were kind of being mirrored, there was that part of me that was like, oh my gosh, this must be just the year we're going to get smart, well done sci-fi. No.
You got some.
That is not what happened at all. But at least Dune came out excellent.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think you will too. I mean, if you
what
haven't
a-
seen it by now, go to see it.
Beautiful, beautiful way to mix in intelligent, modern reflections on humanity and tell it in this weird story. I mean, it follows biblical shit.
Yeah.
These high-level witches decide, just give these people some stupid religious shit and they'll shut the fuck up. And then 1,000 years later, oh my God, they fucking believe it? What do we do? I don't know, fuck them, who cares? This guy is becoming the Messiah because you want him to be, and you're making the prophecies fit. Any evidence for it? I want it to be true, so let's make it true. I'm so well done. It's like, yeah, that's exactly how it happens.
Yeah, you are creating your own destiny.
Right. You're going to get exactly the kind of life you want, because you're in control of it.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it.
Well, I'd love to know what you think. I know that every time we agree on something and we're like, yeah, this was amazing, and we give you our recommendation, it's not the most exciting video in the world, but I can't help it. I liked this movie. You liked it.
I loved it. Charles, this was some of the best sci-fi I've seen. I was trying to remember since when. I don't know since when. It's been that long.
Wow.
It's not since Star. Maybe Andor, I guess, but that doesn't really count. I'm trying to think of a film. When is the last film I saw that was like, wow, that is fantastic sci-fi?
No. The best thing I've got for a TV series that I thoroughly enjoyed was Lost in Space.
But what about a film?
but-
A feature length?
I've got nothing.
I had to go all the way back to Fifth Element.
Unbelievable!
Wow. That is-
I'm sure there must have been something in the past. I just can't think of something that blew me away that much. I'll think of something. It couldn't
you
have been
guys think of
Fifth
something-
Element. That's 30 years. It couldn't have been 30 fucking years, man.
It might have been. Put it in the comments down below. Let us know what has been a spectacular sci-fi film that has come out between then and now. Sometime between Fifth Element and Dune 2, there must have been something that was good.
It wasn't Dune 1.
No, and it wasn't Blade Runner, because the Blade Runner 2049 or whatever it was.
Well, that was another Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, but it was so boring.
I really, really liked the original Dune. I thought it was a really good stepping off point.
Yeah.
But it wasn't... I didn't sit back and say, holy shit, this is genius filmmaking.
No, I did not do that. So, all right, you know what to do. Leave your comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all of that. Tell your friends about us.
Okay, bye.
I'll see you later.